Ross, we're doing our favourite thing in one of our favourite places. We are tasting whiskey in a warehouse on Islay. This ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, I'm tasting 2 whiskies as well. I'm quite excited.
Great, double the fun.
And we are delighted to be joined by Emily. Thank you so much for having us. What are we going to be looking at today?
So today we are looking at Ardnahoe's 2 core releases, Infinite Loch and Bholsa.
All right. So they look different straight away.
Yeah.
We know Ardnahoe. What's your experience of Ardnahoe?
Very impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like they've come out of nowhere and become probably one of my top Islay distilleries. Thought the quality is very, very good. Presentation, I mean, it shouldn't be the be-all and end-all, but I think it looks class. And for me, I've got no hesitation about buying a bottle, whereas others I'm a bit.
Yeah.
I want it to look good.
I'll be honest with you, Emily, I was quite annoyed how much I liked the first release from Ardnahoe's because you waited 5 years, which was good, but that inaugural release, then to stick the 5 year on it, Hunter Lang being consistent with the 50% bottling strength as well. Yeah. There was a lot of integrity moves there, and I've known Hunter Lang and had a lot of their products previously, so I was really excited to see what this is going to be like. Now, I've got to be honest with you, Laurie, I've tried one of these before. I was very lucky. Your fantastic brand ambassador, Paul Main, let me try the Infinite Loch just before it was released. So it'd be interesting to see how these are going to compare with
I've
one
tried
another.
this before, but not that.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
So
I've tried both.
if people don't know much about Arnaho, what kind of spirit character are you looking at, and what makes you a bit different?
So we are a brand new distillery, but we make the whiskey in a really traditional, hands-on way. Yeah. We are very peated. Our core range, of which these are, is 40, 45 ppm. There was no point building a distillery on Islay and it not tasting like an Islay whiskey. Yeah. But what we were hoping for was something that was a little bit different. Hunter Lane, being in the business for many years, sharing whiskey with people for many years, know that the people who love peat and make the pilgrimage here, they're a dedicated group, but they're a small group. Yeah. How can we make an Islay whiskey a little bit more accessible to other people? So it doesn't hit you in the nose with the smoke. It's very sweet, very fruit forward. We have long fermentation. We strip out a lot of the sulfury notes in our distillation, and then the smoke kind of creeps up on you in a lovely, surprising way.
Yeah, my experience with it, it's never been raw and rugged, and it feels quite, not clinical, but just very well made, beautifully designed, and really tasty, which is the main thing.
And as you said, owned by Hunter Lang, you're already in lots of international markets. This being your core range product, this is products that are affordable. Yeah. They're traditional Islay peated single malt whiskies, but actually you should be able to get them around Europe now as well, which is excellent. Yeah. Which one should we start with?
We should definitely start with this one. Okay. It came first, but also it's a little bit of a softer start. Okay. When people come into the distillery, it's the one I suggest we start with.
Oh, excellent.
Because I love it already. Ardnahoe at its core, it is exactly what I've been talking about on my tours for the last 5 years, while I've been getting people to anticipate. It is beautifully balanced. It doesn't have an age statement. We're only 6 years. Yeah. It is young, but the quality is beyond its years. Yeah. So,
and
here you go.
In terms of the makeup of this one, it does look a little bit lighter. 50% again. It's called Infinite Loch.
It's very clever, okay? Firstly, the reason we're here in this beautiful place is our water source, Loch Ardnahoe. Not the beautiful mountains, they're just a happy accident. The water source, pure water, mineral rich, and plentiful. Okay. So we know it's the deepest loch on Islay, but we don't actually know how deep it goes.
I love that.
Could it be infinite? This was also thank you, but it's even cleverer. This was also the 3rd whiskey we released. Okay. The first being the inaugural, the second being the festival bottle. Both of those were limited. This was the first one that was infinite.
I love it because this so through the progression of your spirit and maturation and the story of the distillery, Infinite Loch is going to be around, but the liquid is going to change batch for batch. Yes. Because we've had that from other distilleries before, and that's quite exciting, especially when you like the first iteration of it, to see where Infinite Loch could grow into as well.
It'll be kind of an evolution rather than this is batch 11 and it's got
it'll just progressively change.
So what will be consistent will be the flavour profile, which is we want it to be predominantly bourbon. All of our ranges have a little bit of sherry influence because it helps bring out the fruitiness of our spirit, and it helps with this beautiful, visually rich colour. We never add colouring to it. Hunter Lane never chill filter. The 50% is also something they decided a while ago for a flavour profile reason.
Yeah.
Most of the people buying single malt are coming up to places like this, drinking cask strength whiskey from their barrel. So what we want is something that is full-bodied and 50% really hits that.
Yeah, it's a nice strength.
Yeah,
50%.
and also as you see, this is kind of a really good welcome into the distillery.
Yes.
So people might find this as their first product. How is it, Laurie? Have you had a wee smell?
Bloody good,
Yeah?
really good actually.
So what I like is on the nose, it's lots of citrus.
It's very welcoming on the nose.
Very well, exactly, very welcoming. So even the ones who come up to the distillery, they are trying to be converted by their peat-loving friends. They smell it and they go, oh, okay, it's inviting, it's not aggressive. The first sip, smooth.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of the vanilla bourbon, you get the sweetness, but then you still get the spice and the smoke creeps up on you.
And again, generous presentation. You can add a wee bit of water to it.
Do.
Makes it even better value.
Yeah.
I think it's so,
And you can
even
see,
at strength, it's so creamy.
you can see those oils.
Yeah.
You can see that lack of filtration. It really brings it out.
And the palate for me is quite yellow, but the peat smoke is absolutely there on the finish. Really enjoy it. I normally prefer bourbon predominant.
I think this
peated
is
stuff as well.
If you were to pick your best core range Islay single malt product, for me this is right up there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we get excited about Ardbeg 10 sometimes, that's quite a different beast to this, but I think for an approachable core range Islay single malt that looks good, nice price point,
I also think it
ticks all the boxes.
If you're in the whiskey industry, getting that little bit extra percentage, getting basically they're saying do what you want with it. I quite like that. It feels generous.
Yeah.
You know?
And as I said, there's nothing to stop people adding that little bit of water if that's what they need. It's certainly, for me, 1 or 2 drops. Opens it up, brings the smoke out a little bit more, which is, again, a nice little a little surprise. Some people add the water and, there it is. What I just really love is it really showcases how good our spirit is, even at the new make spirit stage. It's quite complex. As I said, with small batch, we take our time. And the choice of the casks, which Hunter Lane as a company are well seasoned in, really helps to highlight the quality of that spirit without overpowering what is our core DNA.
And you've been here for 6 years, Emily, so you've been here doing tours where you didn't have anything for them to pour from the distillery. So it must be a real sense of pride and satisfaction now that you've been telling this story. Absolutely. Finally, they bottled something, but to actually be able to now showcase the product that you've been explaining the whole time.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite in the core range? Are you allowed to say that?
On paper, I think this one would be the one I kind of gravitated towards because it's got a little bit of spice. But for sentimentality, this one is what I will always go back to because it's exactly what I've been describing for the last 5 years. At the end of a tour, usually you go, well, let's try it. And I've had to go, so here's the process. Here's what to expect. Fruit forward, soft, smoke creeping up, and they absolutely nailed it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the evolution of this, as you say.
Exactly.
In terms of your preference, what have we got here? What's the name? What does it mean? It looks a little bit darker as well.
This is Bholsa, and it's named after the caves just down the road from here.
Okay.
What's really nice is most distilleries in Scotland, the Gaelic is just a description of the place. People were very tied to the place. Ardnahoe, height of the hill, you come up to us. If you go a little bit further down the coast, we have these beautiful rugged caves. There's also a little bit in there, the symbology of this is nice and soft and easy to drink. This is a little bit more spicy, a little bit more smoke forward. There's something about those waves crashing against the caves.
Yeah. And is it a little bit more spicy because you're using European oak or a heavier percentage of European oak there?
It's not so much the European oak. In fact, a lot of the sherry casks we chose were American
oak. Okay.
So we got them from the Labato cooperage, and some of it was American oak, still traditionally seasoned outside. And again, that just shows the wisdom that Hunter Lane have of the balance. A lot of the spicy, tanniny flavour that people attribute to sherry casks is actually the oak and not the sherry itself. So it's got the balance of the slightly more gentle Of the more
Which I think is
vanilla
smart, because
oak.
if it was, big European oak, first fill Oloroso, it'd become a completely different beast. to this.
Exactly. And that's the thing, it's first fill casks. The balance of the sherry within all of our ranges, the core and the limited ones, it's not, this has had a little bit of a finish, that's had a little bit. It's Ardnahoe new make that has been fully matured in these really well-seasoned sherry casks. They were in the bodegas for 2 years with those beautiful sherries maturing in them. And then we put our brand new spirit into it. And so how do we get the flavour from that, because it's a big investment, without overpowering our core DNA, because we're still getting people to get to know that. We're still introducing ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so this is your first time trying it?
Amazing.
Yeah?
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah?
Really, really good.
I'm glad you like it. I knew I liked it, which is obviously a bit of pressure off
it
of
sort
me.
of piqued my interest. Peter at the Beaumont Hotel,
Yeah.
with obviously an incredible whiskey selection.
Yeah, what a place.
Iconic bottlings, 60s, 70s, thousands of pounds. He raves about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a guy who knows
that gives you
top
that
quality
confidence.
Islay whiskey, so that's a real stamp.
Because I feel quite bad because we've just been interrogating you. And we finished off our first one, so we'll try the second one.
Do you want to do the honours?
Yeah, I'll do that. Pour it out.
See if you can do as good as pop as me.
Probably not. Looks great though, doesn't it?
The presentation is great. I wanted to love. I mean, it was okay.
Not as good. Not as good.
I was trying to be kind.
It does look good.
So this is one you've never had before, Ross.
I've never had this.
This is exciting.
I've never had this. And I've never been in a cave. so an Islay cave named whiskey piques my interest, certainly.
So we're expecting this to be a bit more rugged. Is that where it's a bit more complex, spicy?
A bit more rich.
A little bit more smoke forward.
I like the nose.
What I really like about this is I am very much that peaty Islay whiskey girl. I don't want too much of the sweetness from the sherry. And it doesn't have that. It has the full-bodied support of the sherry cask without it being sickly sweet.
It seems like what's really important for you and the team here at Arnaho is to showcase the spirit.
Exactly.
And so it is great. We love, I do like cask-dominated whiskey on the right occasion. Yeah. But when you're coming to a new distillery and you're getting your foundations, which is what these products are, it is great to see a consistency.
Exactly. Yeah,
shows you've got nothing to hide, nothing to shy away from. You want it to shine.
That's it.
For me on the nose, there's lots of kind of smoky bacon crisps.
Yes.
Barbecue, a kind of sweet and smoky thing.
It is sweet and smoky, definitely. Again, the nose is quite welcoming to me. I don't actually get that much of the peak smoke on the nose. What do you think, Laurie? Yeah. You've had this before.
Yeah, it's better. Actually, I appreciate this more having tried this just before, because there is so much of those same flavours coming through. But at the same time, it is a completely different thing. It's not, just a little finish for 20 minutes, just we have a different product.
Exactly.
You've committed to the sherry seasoned cask.
That is massive.
Right.
That is massive. Yeah, the palate is a rich, bellowing smoke. Like bonfire smoke as well for me.
That's what I love about it. These are already, we've got whiskies for different types of people and different types of occasion. So this one, I have enjoyed on a nice sunny day in quite a big tumbler in my garden, but that little bit of smoke still makes it a winter dram. Yeah. This one you could happily have at a barbecue, but also in a cozy little bothy by the fire. I certainly picture that, as you said, that barbecue, you're in the garden, you've got the charcoal going, you've got the marinating. But there's still that sense of place, that Islay peat.
Sure.
That little bit of salt, that little bit of savoury just comes through at the end.
We always say what is most important about whiskey is who you're drinking it with.
Exactly.
And so thank you so much for sharing these drams with us.
Welcome.
Do you have a preference?
I mean, it's like picking a favourite child. It's tricky. I think it depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah, fair.
Both are exceptional. And it's, a sign that age doesn't make a great whiskey. I love the fact that you proudly put it's, 5 years old, whatever, because it's all it needs. If it's good spirit, good casks, you're fine. Yeah.
Extremely political answer there from Laurie. I suspect this is your favourite.
Yeah.
An Infinite Loch is my favourite, so that's perfect.
I was very, very surprised by this, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a belter.
As core releases, they're exceptional. And you always give me a hard time for talking about value. These are both kind of 65 or so.
This one is 55, and this one is 60.
Great. Sure.
We have put, we in the general scheme have put quite a lot of effort into making it taste nice.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to release a price point where people could open it up and drink it and enjoy it.
I can't think of another 50% Islay whiskey at 50 quid. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, really, really impressive.
Thank you so much for
And
sharing
what a
it
treat.
with us. Yeah.
You're
Cheers.
welcome. Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime.
Cheers. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want us to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.